Welcome back, everybody, to a new rebuild on the channel. Last time out, I believe we ended up doing the Portland Trail Blazers. Before that, we had the New York Knicks. As I'm going through and I'm getting these teams as they get eliminated from the playoffs, the Lakers should be coming up soon. Hopefully, that's the next team I'll be able to do. But obviously, as you guys saw in the title today, we've got the Charlotte Hornets, led by none other than the best ball brother. Don't quote me on that, but he is undoubtedly the best. Maybe LiAngelo's better, but definitely not Alonzo. But nah, LaMelo, he's a great player. He's the future of the NBA. Then, of course, we've got to re-sign Miles Bridges. We are in a start today scenario, so we're in the playoffs. Go ahead and simulate through, get that over with. 76ers apparently just dominate all the way to the finals. Beat the Warriors. Joel takes home the MVP trophy, or finals MVP trophy. As far as retirements go, nothing too crazy. Udon finally calls it quits. You know what? Let's override that. He can be on the Heat one more year. Other than that, I mean, just some role players. Nobody too crazy. PJ, thank you for your service here in Milwaukee. We got nothing but love for PJ still. Greg Popovich finally calls it quits. Dwight Howard and Melo get their jerseys retired and in the Hall of Fame. And maybe we can make a jump up in the lottery. Right now we are sitting at 13, but it looks like the Hawks might get our pick if it's not in the lottery. I'm not exactly sure what we're doing. If maybe it's top 10 protected, that would be very bad, but I mean, you never know. We'll go ahead and see. Should be automatically playing. Yeah, we're predicted at 13th. Can we move up? Nah, we stay at 13. That's unfortunate, but at least we're able to keep our pick, and we'll probably make a trade with that pick. I don't really want to take it. As far as the head coach goes, James Borrego, I'm a fan of him. I think he's a good coach overall, so we'll keep him for this year. And if it doesn't work out with him in the end of this next season, at least making the playoffs, then I'll probably let him go for whoever's in the head coaching poll, or what would the word be, head coaching pool then. But other than that, we really don't have much else to do besides get into the draft or trade away our pick. So we should have, let's make sure, yeah, they got the drafts, Paolo Banchero, Chet Holmgren, all these guys, Jabari Smith. And I want to go ahead and add some guys to our trade block and all that because I do have a few guys I want to try and trade for, or a few guys that I have in mind to trade for. Probably at the beginning of the season, but one guy I really like is John Collins. He's 84 overall. I obviously would be giving up Gordon Hayward if we traded him. Apparently, salary cap is on, or injuries is on and all that, but salary cap wise, that would match up enough for us to be able to get away with it. But like I said, that probably won't happen till the end of free agency, but not 100% sure. Let me turn injuries off. I don't usually do these rebuilds with injuries on because, it can just ruin a rebuild if a guy gets injured. I understand, that's how it works in real life, but sometimes you just got to turn them off and see what happens. Here we are at the 13th pick. Anybody interesting left? Benedict Mathurin is still there. Dyson Daniels from Australia is here. We don't really need another shooting guard, I wouldn't say, but all of the best guys here are shooting guards. Caleb Love, point guard from North Carolina. Nikola Jovic, we actually grabbed him in our Trailblazers rebuild. He didn't have too much of an impact. We ended up trading him away. And I guess we're going to have to go with one of these guys. I like Benedict Mathurin out of Arizona more than I like the other guys. So we'll go with him, 13th overall. Then we'll simulate to our second round pick. We should have a second round pick, I believe. Yeah, we're in the, looks like 41. And anybody else interesting here, preferably not a point guard or a shooting guard? Jeremy Sochan out of Baylor. And we've got David Roddy out of Colorado State. I just feel like Jeremy Sochan's got to be better with that ranking-wise, so we'll go with him. Do we have another pick? So we do have another pick. I don't really want to use this. Is there any way we could trade away this 15th? Get a second-round pick next year. We'll go ahead and we'll just get a second-round pick next year. No need to really use that pick when we're not going to be playing that guy. And let's see how we did. So, obviously, Jaden Ivey fell all the way to 9th to the Grizzlies. 79 overall there. We got Benedict Mathurin. He's a 76 overall, about as good as we could have done. If Johnny Davis had fell one more slot, we would have had him at 77 overall. Still, overall, I think that's a pretty good draft. We were at 41, so Jeremy Sockin, 75 overall. A lot of these guys in the second round are pretty high overalls. This is a downloaded draft class, so I don't make the overalls, but I kind of wish they would have been a low overall, but it's not as realistic, but it'll be all right. Team options, Nick Richards, you can come back. Jalen McDaniels, obviously, I'll bring you back. I don't want Mason Plumlee back. I am going to try and bring back, who was it? I am going to try and bring back Montrezl Harrell. Cody Martin can go. We've got younger guys there in his spot. So here we go. Miles Bridges is the priority here. He's an 85 overall. Just going to get better. He's 24 years old. We'll go ahead and give him a 4-year +1 player option, and hopefully he'll accept that. And that's my plan right now. Like I said, I would like to bring back Montrezl Harrell. 3 years on $6 million a year is a great deal for us. And yeah, so Miles Bridges, 4 years, $78 million. Montrezl Harrell, 3 years, $19 million. I love those deals. And yeah, we don't want to sign him to the 1-year deal at all. No. Somebody offered him a contract, so now we have to sign him for the 1-year deal. That is unfortunate. Unfortunate. Why would he accept that deal? But let's go over here now. Let's look at this roster we've got. You obviously have LaMelo. You've got Terry Rozier, Benedict Mathurin, James Bouknight, who, does he play point guard? He goes slightly up at point guard, so maybe we'll have him run that backup point guard position. Gordon Hayward, obviously, is still here. Hopefully look to move him. Kelly Oubre, Jeremy Sockin, who just came in, JT Thor, and then at the power forward position, we've got a lot. PJ Washington, Miles Bridges ahead of him, Jalen McDaniels, Kai Jones, and then at the center position right now, we've got Montrez and Nick Richards. So we really have a solid all-around team. We've got a little bit of cap space left. Is there anybody with cap hold still? Yeah, like Scotty Lewis, I'll let go. I'll let go of Kubolka. But other than that, we really don't have much else. Maybe we could bring in Tyus Jones at 80 overall, 26 years old. Would be interesting. Bring back Malik Monk, be our backup shooting guard. But I kind of want Benedict Mathurin to get that playing time. I mean, you could bring in Thomas Bryant. He just doesn't have the defense for me as a center. But we'll probably bring in a backup point guard. Let's see if we can bring in Tyus Jones just to be off the bench. And he should accept that, I'd imagine. And yeah, he accepts it. So we've got Tyus Jones for 3 years. Roster is full out now. And I like this. Tyus Jones can really be that backup presence for us. James Bouknight, he's young, but he's not going to be able to get too much playing time this year anyways. Terry Rozier is going to be here until his contract's up, or that is what my plan is at least. Benedict Mathurin could be huge for us. Kelly Oubre Jr. hopefully can be the starting small forward once I'm looking to move Gordon Hayward away from us. And yeah, the rest of the team's pretty solid out on how we filled this roster out. Let's see what we can do in player progression. I imagine LaMelo will jump up. Yeah, LaMelo's already a 90. Miles Bridges stays at an 85. Terry Rozier up 1. PJ Washington actually up 3. So maybe we look to move PJ as he's going to be on the bench for most of the year. Kelly Oubre up 1. Gordon Hayward goes down 2. And a bunch of these guys just jump up a few points each. Kai Jones up 4 or up 2. JT Thor up 3. As we look to get into the NBA season, first year of this rebuild, I think it's going solid. This team will be, in my opinion, probably a play-in tournament team again, but it would be nice to make the playoffs. Don't know if that's going to happen. No promises at all. We'll go ahead and simulate this first game. Let's actually go over to the coaching real quick. Let's go through that rotation. Everybody's in the right positions. PJ Washington, 6-man, Tyus Jones, Kelly Oubre, Benedict Mathurin, and Nick Richards off the bench there. So I like that. What's our system proficiency? Pace and space, 3.5 stars, and we actually fit 7 seconds a little bit better. Our coach prefers perimeter centric, and we're 3.5 stars on perimeter centric, so we'll go ahead and go with that since that's what James Braga prefers. Let's see what we do in this first game of the year against the Pistons. We do take a win. I was about to say Lonzo Ball. LaMelo, 28, 9, and 11. Come on, LaMelo. Hamidou Diallo had 27. Cade Cunningham only took 8 shots. Come on now, Cade. Bridges 27, Terry Rozier 20. This team looks like it'll be good. I'll go to the trade deadline, look around, see if there's any moves to be made. But if there's not, I'll just see you guys at the end of the season no matter where we're at. So we're around the trade deadline. Obviously, we are sitting at the 13th seed. You can see in the top corner there. Not the greatest, but it's just our first year of this rebuild. And this is what I'm trying to pull off. I'm trying to bring in Bradley Beal. Gordon Hayward is there as a trade piece, but he's not really the piece they're looking for. And I mean, Terry Rozier, his contract just doesn't match up. So we're going to try and make it work with Gordon Hayward. And giving up a first and a second would be kind of a lot for him, but maybe if we throw in James Bouknight, they do agree to that. So we get rid of a few young players there, or a young piece there in James Bouknight, but we bring in Bradley Beal, and obviously we will move him over to that small forward position, have him as the starting small forward. Then that leaves us with LaMelo, Terry Rozier, Bradley Beal, Miles Bridges, who's only on a 1-year deal, and Montrezl Harrell as well. And we keep PJ Washington. That was a real big part of this. I wanted to keep PJ Washington to trade him in the future, or we're just going to let him walk. But we will look at some trades for him. Let's see what everybody's offering us for PJ Washington, because I wouldn't be opposed to trading him for, like I mentioned earlier, John Collins, or maybe even a Miles Turner, something like that. Or Mitchell Robinson to be our starting center. That would be interesting. He is on the Knicks as well, and he's on a 4-year contract. So maybe I'll pull the trigger on that. I think I like that trade a lot for us. And I know it's a couple of interesting moves midway through a losing season, but we have LaMelo, we have Benedict Mathurin, who's only going to get better. Now we bring in Bradley Beal, Miles Bridges, and Mitchell Robinson. Off the bench, we've got Terry Rozier. Right now they want Mathurin starting. I'm fine with that just to get him some minutes as a young player. Tyus Jones, Montrezl Harrell, no longer our starting center. I liked having him off the bench. Kelly Oubre, Nick Richards down there, and then obviously we've got the rest of the team way down here. So I like those moves for our team going forward in this season. Not going to say it's going to make us a championship contender. As you can see, we lose the first game, but I like those moves overall for us to go forward in this series. End of year 1, finished at the 7th seed after I made those moves, so obviously our team improved a lot. Nikola Jokic takes home MVP, surprisingly not Luka, but Jokic is wearing number 8, so I don't know what that's about. Ty Washington takes home Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons is there for 6th Man of the Year. Giannis takes home Defensive Player of the Year as always. Halliburton with Most Improved over there in Indiana still. And Willie Green takes home Coach of the Year with 57 wins. Brandon Harrison is the Executive of the Year. Anybody on the All-NBA teams for us? No, not really. Benedict Mathurin might be on one of the All-Rookie teams. It appears he is not. We'll look at the numbers real quick, see how they did. If we can just look at our team stats. LaMelo, we'll round up for him, 20 points per game, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. Decent shooting percentage. He shot 51% from the field, 41 from 3, so that's a great year for LaMelo. Bradley Beal comes in, averages 18 or 19 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists on 50-36 shooting. Not the greatest shooting percentages for him, but then Miles Bridges, 18, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Decent year for him. Anybody good on the rookie side? Benedict Mathurin had an okay season, 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists for him. Any great percentage shooting? 46 from the field, 42 from 3 for Benedict Mathurin is not too bad. Tyus Jones, 8 points off the bench. Mitchell Robinson came in and played well, 8.8 points, 9.2 rebounds. These guys down here didn't really get too much playing time. Jeremy Sochan maybe played him 1 game, so that's a little underwhelming for him not to be able to show up in any of the games, but I'm excited to see what we can do in the playoffs here. We're taking on the 76ers in the play-in tournament. However, they just won the championship, but now they're in the play-in tournament. They've got the same team. I don't expect to win this game, but we take it. So we're locked in for that 7th seed there. Sometimes, you forget that LaMelo is LaMelo. And here we go. Who are we taking on down here? We are taking on the 2nd-seeded Celtics. They've got Pritchard, Brown, Tatum, Keita Bates-Diop in the starting lineup, and Robert Williams, Time Lord, there at the center position. Not the greatest power forward right there in Keita Bates-Diop to have starting in the playoffs, but we'll see how it goes. Unfortunately, I can't see it, but it looks like we lead 1-0. We lead 2-0 now. 2-1. They're probably going to come back, I'd imagine. Yeah, 2-2. I'm fine losing this, honestly, but we get eliminated. We were up 2-0. We get eliminated in 6, it looks like. I'm completely fine with that. We really didn't have to win the championship this year, as the Grizzlies take home a big one there for them. Udon does retire again in free agency. The Heat didn't even pick up Udonis Haslam. Al Horford calls it quits. Anybody else down here? Brooke Lopez for the Bucks and George Hill for the Bucks. So that's a big hit to them. Just a lot of guys down there that haven't been signed to a team. Alvin Gentry retires. That's an interesting one right there. Shouldn't have anything in the lottery. Do we even have our pick? It looks like the Hawks have it at 18. That's fine. We didn't expect to have it at all. The Suns got to be from... No, the Suns have the 2nd overall pick from their own pick. We don't even have a pick this year, so we'll just go past the draft. See what we can do as far as rookie signings go. Nobody's there. Excuse me. Nobody's there. Obviously, LaMelo, we're going to re-sign you with that team option. Jeremy Sockin, team option as well. We'll pick up Kai Jones, and we might as well pick up JT Thor. Now we really just have to re-sign Miles Bridges, and hopefully he just gets better for us. He's going to be the main guy we want to look for in free agency at that power forward position. Yeah, Miles Bridges, we'll give him a 4-year +1 player option. Hopefully he accepts. Yes, he does agree. Kelly Oubre Jr. is in free agency as well. That's a tough one, but I think Benedict Mathurin could finally maybe take his spot on the roster right there. I don't want to let go of Jalen McDaniels, though. I will let go of Miles Bridges' cap hold, obviously, but I would like to bring him in. Yes, we're able to bring him in without letting go of Jalen McDaniels. Kelly Oubre unfortunately took one for the team there. But Jeremy Sockin can be that backup small forward, and if we have to, Benedict Mathurin can play small forward. So now we have, really we just need, a backup power forward and maybe another small forward. So nothing too crazy going on here. We do have a little bit of money to work with now that Kelly Oubre is gone. So we should be able to go over here and see. We don't have many cap holds. I'll bring back Jalen McDaniels just because he's down here. I like the way Jalen McDaniels plays. He should be down here somewhere. We'll bring him back on a 2-year deal. Let's do 2-year team option. He declines it, so he doesn't even want to play here anymore. Let's see if we can bring him over here. Let's just do a 2-year option for him. Nick Richards is in free agency as well. And where's he at? Where is Nick Richards at? He should be here, but maybe he's not affordable for us. Let's see if they're counting Nick Richards as affordable. It appears they are not. So I don't know where Nick Richards is at in free agency, but we're honestly good on the center position. I guess we could trade them away if we needed to, but we don't really want to. So we have enough money to re-sign or to sign one of these good free agents. And honestly, Nick Richards, I guess you can go, bro. We'll bring in Jalen McDaniels, like I said, but we still got money to sign somebody. Who do we bring in that can make this team better? What do we need more than anything else? Obviously, we've got a point guard position is stacked, LaMelo, and then backing him up is Tyus Jones, which I love that. Benedict Mathurin and Terry Rozier at that shooting guard position. Jeremy Sockin backing up Bradley Beal. Really, maybe just get a better backup power forward, but we have guys in here that would be interesting to sign. Ayo Dosunmu as an unrestricted free agent, and he is not even getting an offer put out for him. So, I mean, why wouldn't I? A young point guard like Ayo Dosunmu, hey, bring him in. I mean, come on, why would I not sign him? Then we could still bring back Kelly Oubre Jr. Might as well, sure, why not? He's a good guy for Charlotte. And that really wraps up most of our money. We're going to need to save a little bit for next year on LaMelo, obviously. So that's all we're going to do for now in free agency. Player progression before we get into the season. LaMelo is now a 93. Bradley Beal sticks around at an 87. Miles Bridges stays as an 86. I Ayo Dosunmu doesn't go up at all. I guess maybe he wasn't getting much playing time in Chicago last year. Jeremy Sochan goes up 3. Kai Jones up 2. Benedict Mathurin up 3. That's real nice to see as we go ahead and simulate into the beginning of the second season. Don't really see us needing to make any moves for this year. We've got a great team, I believe, and I'm sticking with James Borrego for the year. We'll go ahead and just do the rotations and go ahead and get simulate into the playoffs. So we're at the trade deadline sitting at the 6th seed, and obviously that's a good seeding for us. We've been playing pretty well, but I wasn't exactly, what would the word be? I wasn't 100% content with how the team was playing, and Jeremy Sochan is a free agent this year. We have no option for him, so he's going to want around $16 million. We're not going to be able to afford that with having LaMelo on the market as well. So the Suns have been shopping around Cam Johnson, and he's a guy that I would like to have as our backup power forward over JT Thor. He's been playing well. 12 points per game is good for Cam Johnson, especially at that backup position. We do get Charles Bassey as well if this trade goes through. I don't know if they exactly accept that, but they offer us this one. So we're going to be sending Jeremy Sochan and Tyus Jones over there to the Suns for Cam Johnson and Charles Bassey in a second-round pick where we swap with them. Love that deal for us. Like I said, Jeremy Sochan wasn't going to be here next year anyways because we just couldn't afford to get him. So that gives us Cam Johnson off the bench, Kelly Oubre, Benedict Mathurin, and we were still able to keep Ayo Dosunmu and Montrezl Harrell. That's a big win for us in my opinion. I love being able to trade Jeremy Sochan and get that in return. So great trade for us as we head into the trade deadline and get into the playoffs, hopefully. So, end of Season 2 on this rebuild. Joel takes home MVP, averaging 26. So far, we haven't had a Luka year yet. He's only averaged 25 this year. Usually, he's up around the 40s. Everett Richards, auto-generated guy, Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons, 2 Six-Mans of the Year in a row. Giannis, another DPOY. Jalen Duren, Most Improved Player, the rookie from last year. Comes back and plays pretty well for the Rockets. Almost 11 points per game. Good for him. JB Bickerstaff, I believe with the Cavs, still with the Cavs, 59 wins for them as they take home the 1 seed in the conference. And Christian Bartlett with the Pistons, the 2nd seed there, 59 wins for them as well. LaMelo, All-NBA first team for LaMelo. He must have had himself a season. Yes, he did. 22, 6, and 8.5 assists, shooting 50, 40, 90 for LaMelo. What a year right there. Anybody else for us? All rookie, 2nd team only has 2 players on it, but that's all right. Anybody else? I'm not seeing anybody else for us. So it looks like maybe Bradley Beal didn't make it this year. But hey, we're out of the play-in tournament. 3rd seed, if you can see it on that top right corner. LaMelo, we just saw him. Miles Bridges, 18.5. Bradley Beal, only 17.2. Not a great year from him. Maybe his tendencies are down. We'll have to check that out later. But going into the playoffs, let's see what they want our lineup to be. So we've got LaMelo, you've got Terry Rozier starting shooting guard, Bradley Beal, Miles Bridges at power forward, Mitchell Robinson. Then we got Cam Johnson, Ayo Dosunmu, Benedict Mathurin, Kelly Oubre Jr., and Montrezl Harrell. I like that lineup of 10-mans. If we start to lose, of course, we will change that to a one-man rotation, a 9-man rotation. Let's go ahead and get rid of that play-in. And here we are taking on the Wizards. Kennedy Chandler, Luke Kennard, Denny Avita, Jayshawn Tatum, Chris Stapps. Do they still have PJ and Gordon Hayward is my question. If they do, this could be a little bit of a reunion. They got James Bouknight. They didn't get PJ Washington, but they did get Gordon Hayward. He is still here right there, backup small forward, I guess, behind whoever was starting for them. But we'll go ahead and simulate game 1. We do take the win there. So 2 wins at home in a row. They take their first home game. They take their second home game. We take our 3rd home game, and we're able to get out of there. Facing the Pistons, though, it's going to be tough to take down this Pistons team. I mean, they are a great squad, obviously, with Cade and all them. But we've got a good team as well. We're match up fairly decently. Ty versus LaMelo. Benedict Mathurin they want starting with Cade Cunningham. They have RJ Barrett. What the world did this team do? RJ Barrett, Marvin Bagels III, and Clint Capella. Oh, Lord, I don't know if we can win this one. Man, Terry Rozier off the bench, as well as Cam Johnson and Ayo Dosunmu. Man, I don't know if we'll be able to take this one on, or take this team down. Yeah, they're going to win game 1. They might sweep us. This is just bad luck. Just terrible luck. I mean, we're going to lose that series. And if that team don't win the finals, I don't know. How did the Sixers take that team down? Man, that's crazy. What contract is RJ Barrett on? He's on a full contract. Ty Washington obviously is a rookie. Cade Cunningham, that's what it is. Cade ain't got paid yet. They got Marvin Bagley there as well. Sadiq Bey. Oh, I thought they had Sadiq Bey on a massive contract, but they'll be losing some pieces. Clint Capella is on a fairly large contract as well. Grizzlies, back-to-back championships. And honestly, nothing too crazy going to happen in this offseason. We're just looking to run it back. LeBron retires. Chris Paul retires. Kyle Lowry retires. All those guys retire. Was that? I thought that said James Borrego. All of these guys retire. LeBron and Chris Paul obviously get their jerseys retired and in the Hall of Fame. We don't even have a pick this year, I don't believe. So where are we at? Somebody should have our pick, but I guess not. I don't see via Charlotte. So, okay, we're down at 25. It took me that long just to see it. James Borrego is here still. Looking at maybe getting rid of him. We have had a bad few years. I mean, Michael Stoffer's here. Quinn Snyder, bring him from Utah. He does have an offer, though. Tyrone Lue's down here. We could bring him back. Nate McMillan. Steve Nash is down here. Yeah, I think James Borrego, I think we're going to go ahead and go away from him. And let's see who we should go after. That's Mike Malone down there. He was I believe he coached in Charlotte at one time. Or it could have been George Karl I'm thinking of. Steve Nash is here as well. Let's see what our system proficiency is. Of course, we can't look at that. So, who do I want to bring in? Michael Stoffer, you're coming in here. If we can get you to come here, but it looks like we're not going to be able to. Quinn Snyder would be interesting. Tyrone Lue, maybe we'll offer him a contract. C, looks like they're both going to reject, so we'll go ahead and offer somebody else a contract down here. You've got, thought that said Kobe. I was about to say rest in peace, but that ain't funny, 2K. Michael Stoffer obviously rejected. And how does he reject that? When he doesn't even have... See if he signs. Come on, bro. Accept it. Let's go. Michael Stoffer here as the head coach. 4-year deal. And I'll see you guys at the end of next season because I'm not really making any changes. I'll just go into the draft, see what we can do. And I'm just going to focus on re-signing LaMelo this offseason. And let's go ahead and simulate that plan. We are taking on Brooklyn. Do they have the same team? Yes, they got Kyrie, they got Kevin Durant, Cam Thomas, Chris Duarte, and Isaiah Stewart. We're going to have to shorten that rotation a little bit because this team is still pretty dangerous. We have our system proficiency up to 4 stars. Michael Stoffer, I believe in you, bro. Your first coaching gig, I think you can do this. We'll go down to 9. Who will that cut out? That'll cut out Montrez and Dennis Schroeder, but I'm fine with that completely. As long as we get our good guys to play. And it looks like Nets take home game 1. We take game 2. Take game 3. They take game 4. Take game 5. Okay, it's a game 7. Game 7 against the Brooklyn Nets. Don't like our odds in this one. Come on now. 7-man rotation. And we get eliminated. How do we lose in the first round? Oh my goodness. Let's see if the Nets can go all the way. Hey, they don't even make the finals. The Spurs make the finals and win it with Paolo Banchero, but man, that's a crushing defeat there. Not able to get the Hornets that championship. This team definitely should have won a natty, or why'd I say a natty? That's college. A finals in this simulation with Bradley Beal, LaMelo, Miles Bridges, and Mitchell Robinson. Terry Rozier, maybe we should have traded him away a while back just to get a better starting shooting guard, but I wanted to keep it somewhat realistic. And yeah, tough loss for the Hornets here, but at the end of the day, this team is really good. I could see them winning a championship if I continued simulating, but I like to limit it to 3. Just because, it kind of makes the video shorter, it makes it more concise, so I enjoy limiting myself to only 3 years. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Comment down below what trades you would have made and what team you'd like to see me do next. As I said, I want to do the Lakers next before any other team, just because of how messed up their situation is, but I'm open to doing other teams, or as the playoffs happen, we'll do the teams as they're eliminated. So that would be a great type of series to build up as the playoffs move on. So I hope you guys are enjoying these rebuilds. They're a little bit more time consuming for me to record with school going on, but it ends in a few weeks, so I'll be full blast with YouTube. Thank you guys so much for all the support and watching my videos, and adios.